James Spann knew this winter storm was different. Turns out, not everyone was listening.
I was forecasting 6 to 16 inches of snow. That was the forecast in this big graphic that I had prepared. But nobody listened because it was the middle of March and everything was blooming. The dogwoods were blooming. It was in the 70s. And I don't blame people for not listening. It was an outrageous forecast.
By that Friday night, it was clear the forecast was right.
I heard back from Bill Castle in the field with his camera. Bill knows this city like the back of his hand, but Bill was disoriented because it was a whiteout. And I'm thinking, this is serious. This is really going to be bad.
Once the snowfall started, it didn't stop for 12 hours. The official snow total in Birmingham was 13 inches, but snow drifts of 5 to 6 feet were reported as wind gusts in some places reached up to 70 miles an hour.
It was a life-threatening storm, and it was a scary storm.
The system spanned from the Gulf of Mexico all the way to Canada and cost $5.5 billion in damage. 270 people were killed across 13 states. James says the blizzard was a valuable lesson for the countless storms he's covered since.
I think it scared us. I was young, and that can be scary, and you retreat a little bit, and you're not as bold in your messaging. But this was a life-threatening storm, and I think we should have been bolder and present more confidence in the forecast scenario.
Perhaps the only thing harder than forecasting the storm was covering it.
It was unbelievable. It was the biggest snow event of my lifetime. And trying to get there and cover stories was next to impossible.
It was also impossible for first responders. The Homewood Fire Department told Comedy Club owner Bruce Ayers his building was on fire, but they couldn't get there. When Ayers arrived, his life work was gone.
I mean, it was flat. There was twisted iron, and the one person who was there that I'll never forget was Brenda Ledun. And she was so kind and so sweet and so compassionate.
I saw the look on his face, and the look on his face said, I just lost everything. And I just thought, I gotta say something.
We all had tears in our eyes, but at that moment, the only thought we could have is, we gotta come back from this.
Which is exactly what happened, thanks to the community which supported him.
It was a cold day in hell, but we'll be back and better. So that's what it looked like. But it was stuff like that. We'll be back.
For veteran news anchor Pam Huff, it wasn't just the howling wind or whiteout conditions. It was the tone in people's voices she remembers.
Most people had never been through anything like this before, and they were petrified because they couldn't travel. They couldn't leave their homes.
During 3 straight days of wall-to-wall coverage, her station decided to do something different.
We opened up the lines just to talk to people, to experience what they were experiencing.
Many were forced to seek shelter with neighbors. Just ask Pam how she knows.
When I came home, I had 11 people in my house because my husband said, what was I going to do? I couldn't leave them out there. So he brought them in, and I mean, we knew them, but they were neighbors and friends. And he and these neighbors were cooking in my kitchen, and there was a grandmother sitting by the fire. I mean, it was a really strange moment.
Turns out the Comedy Club had a sold-out performance from a young comic scheduled the weekend of the blizzard. What followed was an amazing story all its own. How Jim and Nix, Jay Leno, and Carrot Top all helped the Comedy Club rebuild into the stardome it is today. It's a web exclusive which also includes my full interviews with James, Pam, and Brenda. Check it out. I'm Stephen Quinn for ABC 3340 News In Depth.